Today's video is what if the Mongol Empire controlled the whole world. We'll not let it pop back on the map. I got a question for the Mongol Empire. Why does it only say it controls why does it only say the population is 3.5 million? If they control China, and China is the most populated country in the world of like almost 2 billion people. I don't know. But a lot of countries be scaled like India, North Korea, South Korea, Japan, Russia probably, Ukraine, Belarus, Lithuania, Romania, a lot of these countries. So, and Pakistan and like all these ones, Southeast Asia. Fourth country would be attacking would be North Korea. I want to get all it finish off the country, so they would take it pretty easy because they took all the dukes. Pakistan would go, and then Iraq would fall. Iraq would be pretty easy. They don't have much things, but Ukraine would fall. The rest of it, the country. The remain, because the Mongol Empire controlled like all of Asia. Already like all of it. Belarus also fall, but controlled like all of Asia. Asia is the biggest continent. They control like all of it. Pretty crazy. Oh, got a part of North Korea. Because they were also say that's all the countries they finished off. Except Russia, but they would want that land, so they would yoink some of it. They just walk in and they get it, really. Just walk into the countries, they get it. That's how they don't really fight that much. You just get what you want. Being the world's biggest empire, and the world's biggest country, and if it was not the world's biggest country, they would take all of it. They would take all west of Russia. They only control all of Asia, stuff like India and stuff. When you have India and stuff, they would attack India. They just take the top part, and they would take the little tiny parts, and they would take a lot of land. They would go down the coast of India, and they would gain millions of land, million square kilometers. They would take a lot of it pretty easily, and they would be like yep, or the goats here. They would be like yep. They do just snap, and they own Bangladesh, they own Bhutan, they own Nepal, and Sri Lanka. And they go for the Maldives next. I think the Maldives pretty easily. Then they control the Maldives and the rest of India. They had to get to the islands. And then they would go for Myanmar, since they share like a long border with them. And Myanmar would just fall pretty easily under the ME's control, the Mongol Empire. Get it? The ME's control. I don't know about it, but take all of it. They fight the rest of like Thailand pretty easily, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam. now they have like all of Asia, and they take a landing on Taiwan, and they take the and they already take the cities. They even go at Taiwan City. You go for Taiwan City, and they take it. Before you took it, but Taiwan City is just. Yep, Taiwan City is oofed. It gets bad. And the Mongol Empire keeps doing this, soon the whole world will be under control. The whole world is scared. They go for South Korea. It's number 5 in the world geography thing, but now it would be number 5. Now it would be number I don't know, 3 or something, since China, Russia's not here. But they will still get oofed by number 1. And they control like Russia's power too. The nukes, India's nukes. Now they control a lot of countries like Russia, China, Taiwan, Bhutan. Bhutan is a superpower. Yeah, I know it's not a superpower, but I just wanted to say that. They would go around here, and they would take half of this island, this part of Malaysia. Malaysia would be like, no, and then they would take Singapore. And now all the soldiers can sing, I will, what now? I don't know. What are they gonna say? Everybody says, but this time they don't. They go for more European countries, like Lithuania. They don't even like Kaliningrad or something. And they would be like, no. They would be like, yep, it's pretty good. And then they would also want Latvia to take Estonia pretty easily, and the rest to the sea. Yeah. And then they would want Finland. Will hold back since it's pretty strong, but soon they would just start to fall under control. They really like all of it, and they were really close to the capital, so they just surrender over to it. Sweden, Norway, surrender. That land was between Denmark and Sweden would become a hazard and make Denmark get taken over really easily. Now Germany they would attack Germany, and then take Berlin, and then it's just really over for Germany. Yeah, and then a lot of Germany. Now they go to Poland and Germany. Now they have Poland. They have like Poland on the 2 sides, so they just. Yep. Same thing happens in them like World War II. The Soviet Union and Germany both attack them, but it was just all under control of the Mongol Empire. Now they're long. What the heck? Why does it look like this? They control like all of Asia now, so they would take the Czech Republic. Take the capital, and then it's basically over for the Czechs and Slovakia. would be dead. Oof. Surrounded. Now they go like Austria. So like Austria, some windows. Switzerland, Liechtenstein, also window. Oval. Slovakia. Slovakia. I don't know what to pronounce it. Slovakia. Hungary, so windows, Romania. Basically, all the Baltic states, so no oval. Since there's no point. Please, something but Turkey. The biggest city in Istanbul gets taken. Istanbul, I get taken. So it's basically oval form. Now they control all the Caspian, Baltic, Black Sea, and then the Indian Ocean, really, but they control most of the Mediterranean. Not even Cyprus. United Kingdom. Now they're pretty strong, but they've been taking over tiny parts of the world. It's not been very good for them. So they take over Syria, a bit bigger country, but still tiny. For Lebanon, Israel, Palestine, to Jordan. It seems like a new union. It seems like a union in that Saudi Arabia would be here. Including like Somaliland, and all of these ones across the sea. Ethiopia. They would all team up to attack the Mongol Empire. First they would hold pretty good. Correct too, but first they would hold pretty good, but then they would start to fall. A bit. Saudi Arabia's mainland gets taken, and then after a few years, Mongol Empire finally takes it. Or maybe a few weeks, months, I don't know. Now they control parts of Asia. Now they're they're 3 continents. Oh my god. All of Asia. No, most of Asia. Europe and Africa. Yeah. And the US is scared to life for Alaska. And I'm going to like, no, yes. And they take Alaska. And they go to Canada. And is not happy about this, and they US is like, I need a new state now. Or Alaska. I think I got a perfect fit. Mexico. I need a new Alaska. Okay, that's a new Alaska. As soon as we name it. Okay. New Alaska. Mexico's no, not fail. Well, you guys doesn't can't use a real Alaska as Alaska. They had to use U.S. had to use Mexico as Alaska. No. Oof. We got from Mexico there. And Canada here because Yay. 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 Okay, and that's now part of the Mongol Empire. Now I think the longest border between two countries is the Mongol Empire and the USA. And they become allies just for good reasons. And he was like, "Can I have Alaska?" They're like, sure. So yeah. If I have Alaska, I can give you a lot, 50% of gold if I do. So I'm okay with that. How's Russia still here? Now she doesn't exist. So Europe, Asia, Africa, and North America. And they finish off the rest of Europe. Finish off the rest of Europe. The rest of Europe it's in total chaos. And the British Isles, there you go, under control. So now Europe isn't in total chaos. Because the whole world is, all of Europe is controlled by the Mongol Empire. Yeah. Yep. It's kind of sad. Oh no. The Mongol Empire is taking off the land that I did. Oh no. The Mongol Empire is taking over the land when I didn't notice. No. They'll literally take it over as much as they can. Sorry, Africa. Mexico, Brazil, Uruguay, and Argentina, and Paraguay, Bolivia, Chile, yeah. Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, Suriname, Guyana, yeah, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, and they call it America, and Antarctica. They broke the treaty. Yep, I broke the treaty. That's how the world is. That's not me. That was the Mongol Empire said. Owning the whole world. It's been pretty crazy fun. And that's the end of the vid. This is the world right now. It's mostly controlled by Mongol Empire. There's still some countries, like African countries, violent countries still, and now they have to control. If they take Papua New Guinea, like they just did, they have to control over the 800 billion languages they have there. The United States alone, the United States is happy about that. They only vote on one country. Now what? They're okay with it. Yes. Cuba and stuff, but just non-bad for them. Non-pretty good for them. So they're happy about it. And they hope the Mongol Empire stays there forever. Bye, that's the end of the vid.